Alrighty. Good morning, YouTube. Yeah, it is a blessing and an honor to be driving before you this morning. I'm too blessed to be stressed, I guess. You know what I mean? It each day it's an experience out here. Each day is an experience to be alive. Each day it is an experience to try to understand the complexities. Hey, you hear me? I'm using a big word. The complexities of being a human being in this day and age. The complexities. I think I'm making up a word to be an African American in this day and age, and in the complex places that we need to travel. Being a man in this day and age. Um, we have the men versus the women in social media. That the famous narrative, men ain't shit and men ain't spit. I'll say that. Apologize for cursing. Men ain't we're not nothing, and we need to be followed, and you need to submit, and you need, and it's all been taken out of context, and you need to bow down to me. And when we're young boys, we are conditioned from day one that we'll never succeed. We will never move up in life, and the only things that we can do is either be a football player, basketball player, or a rapper. We'll never make it as a doctor. We'll never make it as a CEO of companies. We will never become anything, and we sit there and we believe it because of systemic racism, and that's not from and I'm not, and that's not attacking my Caucasian followers. God bless you. I got Caucasian blood in me. I'm a high yeller. It's not that I'm not attacking y'all, but this is what we are brought up to bear as African American men. That we will never be anything but that. And guess what? 99.9% of us succumb to that. And we tried to go the sports route. Only a good percentage is going to make it into the NBA. Only a small percentage is going to make it into the NFL. And they don't tell you the background, the harsh reality of that. They don't tell you the toll that it takes on your body. Everybody isn't going to be that high paying football player. Everybody isn't going to be that high. Yeah, you might make $100,000 or 200 or 300, but a good percentage of that is going to your team. You're going to your lawyer. They're going to your agent. It's going to this. It's going to that, and half of those poor guys end up broke in the end, and their body beat to submission, and they're used and abused. Women take them, you know. Oh, I love you, I love you, I love you, but they know that you're a future. You're going into the NFL, or you're going into the NBA, or you're going to play baseball or whatever, and they really don't give a flip about you. Nothing against the women that are in here. It's just reality. But what happens to the normal Joe Blow? What happens to the normal guy Friday? What happens to the normal guy that struggles through is not the main one in high school, is just the normal guy that goes to class, has friends, and then goes out and gets a job. Because guess what? Mama couldn't afford to go to college. Your grades wasn't good enough to get the right SAT scores or the ACT scores or whatever scores that you're supposed to get. So you start out, we'll go working in the warehouse. You start working in uh you start out working in the warehouse, or you get that job in security, and because you're trying to figure out life. You're still staying with your mama because you can't afford. You're not making enough. You wasn't making enough to go out on your own, and now you become the laughing stock because you live with your mama. But nowadays, the way the prices of living and everything else, even if you was making decent money, you still got to live with your mama because of the price of living and the price of owning stuff like that. I was listening to Sheet We Hear yesterday, and he was talking about house prices and prices of apartments where they're 1,000 to 1,500. Well, Joe Blow or Joe Schmo, it's too late. Even if even if you have impeccable credit and you're Joe Schmo, good morning, Mike, and good morning, Tamika. Even if you have impeccable credit and you're Joe Schmo, but you only make 40 or 50 thousand dollars a year, you'll never get a home now. You're stuck in these apartments. You're stuck with these unbelievable, rates, and a lot of folks, and it's sad to say that they go back home and move back in with mama, and the sad part is praying for the day that she or he or both of them move on, and we become caretakers, and pray for that day that they move on to the next life, and hope to God they leave the home to us. So either one, we can take over payments, or two, and it's sad to be like that, that you couldn't get out and get your own, or that society didn't equate the price of living. It used to be making 50, 40, 50 thousand dollars was a good amount of money. You know, uh, you know, it was a good amount of money, and you're an honest, impeccable person, or close to impeccable. You're an honest person, and you try to do the right thing, and nobody wants to be bothered with. But you have these people in male and female that look down on you because you're making 40 or 50 thousand dollars, or $50 or $60,000 a year. And when stuff go down, when these corporations start cutting back, and they always cutting back, guess who they go for? They go for the $100,000 employee, and you don't even recognize it. Oh, I got laid off. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? I got this home, I got that home. We don't look at the reality of life anymore. You know, I got a 401k. I started dumping into it as hard as I could. And, later on in life, nobody taught me. Nobody let me know. I had to figure it out on my own that I should have been investing in it a long time ago. I've been struggling for a long time. You know, trying to figure things out, trying to understand. Because guess what? In school, they teach it. They're teaching this new math instead of having the division sign and putting the two in front of the little half circle thing, and the numbers under it, like 2 divided by 10, and having okay, will the 2 go into the 1? No. Okay, how many times would the 2 go into the 10? And you figure it out. No, they got all of these other freaking numbers, and a different way to go, and it looks like a chart to learn stuff. And the basics of reality I was just looking just before I came on here. It's like, I don't know. I don't think it was kindergarten, but it was a math class that this teacher, who has 1 million followers in TikTok, she was teaching her kids, and I'm not talking even middle school. I think like fifth grade or something like that. She was using fake money with these little kids and giving them jobs around the class. Okay, you like Monopoly money. You get, $1 for cleaning the board, the bill, the front board. You get $1 for taking, the clean, taking out the trash, or cleaning the erasers. You get this and you get that, and then all the kids in the class learn. I had to pay rent to come into the class. They use all fake money, and you can hear, oh, boo boo. And she was showing them the reality of life. This is what you're gonna have to do when you get older and get out into the realization that you got to go out into life. Those kids learn more in that little class than I learned before Jesus. This, and it's sad to say, my mid 40s. Well, a little bit before mid 40s. You know what I mean. But I didn't learn finances. I did the worst thing a person can do when I got my first home. Right after I got the home, I bought a brand new truck because I was subcontract. I bought a brand new truck. I was subcontracted for Dish Network and DirecTV because my other truck was was a piece of crap. Instead of just getting it fixed, then I bought a motorcycle. So I had the mortgage, my truck note, and a car note. Reality slowly kicked in. Reality hit me hard because I never learned finances. I never learned, jeez, I never learned the basic structure of the family. I never learned how to run and control, not control, but lead my family. I could lead others, but I never learned how to lead my family. My father was around, but he worked all the time. And since my mother worked nights, guess what he was doing? He was out at the bars and hanging out and doing this and doing that. So I never spoke with him to understand the reality of how to be a man. You know, man, I'm having like really bad flashbacks here. But the thing, ah, jeez, y'all bear with me for a moment. And this is what's happening. This is what's happening to young men now today, nowadays. That fathers are not being fathers, fathers not giving the chance to be fathers, or what happened in, in the relationship before we were born, we are turned against our fathers. You know, the normal pecking order of reality is that a child, male and or female, needs to learn. There's something that they learn and something that they gather from their father and their mother. And then something that a man or woman gathers from their mother and as from their father. And then when they grow into their reality, they grow into their life, they become who they were supposed to be. What's going on nowadays is a lopsided reality. What's going on nowadays is a lopsided process, not pre, a lopsided view of what we're supposed to be. I remember after being with my first wife for 20 years and I got divorced, I kept on hearing a real man does this and a real man does that and a real man does this. And, you know, I was so devastated because I spent years of no affection from my first wife. So I was just enthralled and looking for affection and begging for it, begging, not for sex, just for begging for attention, begging for someone just to hold my hand, just for begging for just the perception that someone gives a flip. And there was nobody there. There was actually someone there, God. But I said, God, I need someone on this ethereal plane to tell me that they care. And I remember the sad part of this story. I told it before, and that's why I don't really engage on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, but I'm mainly on Facebook for Facebook Marketplace. But I started seeking out attention through negative attention. My life sucks. I'm broke. I need this, and I was getting it. Oh, we're praying for you, and I was soaking it up. Like someone cares about me. Someone cares, and I was soaking up all that negative attention. And at one point I was making stuff up. Tell me how pathetic I am. At one point I was making stuff up, and I started putting that into certain relationships. I was making stuff up because I wanted you to feel more sorry for me. That negative attention I was soaking it up like a vampire attracted to blood. Jesus, that even hurts even saying it. I even would post pictures on Facebook of me crying to get more attention. How freaking pathetic is that? I don't know who needs to hear this today. That's why it's just coming out, you know. I see. This is why when I tell you the stories of how happy I am, these are the background. These are the background stories that you guys that are here, and this is the God's honest truth. God strike me down and knock me out of this seat and go careening into the ditch. But no, this is the real. This is real. And I remember I used to hear this from these, and I'm not realizing that these people that I was dating were narcissists. That it's a real man. Real man do this. Real man. Well, you don't know what a real man is because you ain't got no nuts. Half of us didn't even know what a real man is because we don't even know. Our ranks of real men rank. The real men ranks have been decimated over the years because we have been brought up by Afrocentric black women that believe that their way of bringing us up, that I don't need a man for nothing, their way of supporting us, and their way of bringing us up by fear and intimidation, and their way of kind of trying to mold us into the man that they've always wanted but couldn't get. And that's so sad and that's so pathetic. And we didn't have the proper guidance. And we be talking, oh, hey, my kings and my queens, and give me that. Shut up. How about my brother, my sister? We didn't have a strong brother come in and say, hey, man, don't do that. Hey, man, don't be like that. And it's so funny. We so afraid to understand and learn from specific spots and specific points in the Bible. There's a lot of understanding that we just don't even get. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. Good morning, Sheik. The Bible talks, and it says, I believe it's in the Old Testament, iron sharpens iron. I really, really did not understand what that really meant until, give or take, about 6 years ago. When I was at my lowest, I kind of gravitated because of my empathic tendencies. I gravitated to female friends because y'all females would soak up all that emotional stuff, and I was always a good listener. But I only really had two male friends, and one's a pastor, and one he's just the same as me. And then my boy Charles come into the picture. He don't know how much of a godsend he has been, because that was a part of my plea to God that night. When and I really mean this. That's why I really respect it. You ever got one of them friends that no matter what you say, what they say, you listen. Well, no matter what they say, you'll listen, and because you respect them, and that respect, it just wasn't just popping out. It was actually earned. It was not just given. It was earned. That man, I respect him because of who he is. He a crazy son of a biscuit eater. He crazy. But the situation was crazy, and I needed crazy to come in to my life and guide me and point me in the direction and make me understand the aspects of being a man. And in my mid 40s, broken, misunderstood, and just not figuring out life, I sat and started listening. And when, the Bible says iron sharpens iron, what that's really telling you is, look, man, I need to come in and lift you up, and you need to lift me up. And I need to point out your imperfections. If you don't mind, I'm going to point out your imperfections, and I'm going to help you. I'm going to point you in the right direction, not because I think I'm better than you, but because I've been there. I've already, hold up. See, the thing with a lot of us don't understand, and we say, man, he a punk ass, whatever. You this and you that. But you need someone. You need a fellow brother. You need a fellow sister to come into your life and say, hey, don't effing do that, you idiot. And you go, why? Why? It's because I did that. It don't work. Don't do that. Don't say that. Don't be that person, because this is what happened to me. This is what happened to me. It's so funny. And I'm saying it like that is because I get all bent out of shape. I drive an 18-wheeler. There's so many ways that I can F this daggone thing up by ripping off doors and bashing this and shoot. I'm on my last leg with this company. I hit a boulder because I was coming around. I was backing into a spot, and I'm looking at this trail. I didn't want to hit the trail, and didn't I? Because it's a big ass 18-wheeler. I didn't see the big boulder below me, and I messed up the bumper. But because I got a friend that's been driving for damn near 30 years and tells me the stories, hey man, don't sweat it. It happens. It happens. I did this. I ripped this door off. I hit this. I was backing in. I know, and I've seen him back in. I know. Don't worry about it. See, you need that friend. You need that friend to have your back to say, hey, bro, don't do this. Don't say that. But and look, we even got into a shot match. It hurt my heart. I realized that I thought I disrespected him, and he didn't give a fuck. But we were yelling about something now, and I bucked up, and I was like, hey, hey. He was like, hey, hey, hey. In other words, he was like, hey, hey, don't talk to me like that. And I was bucking up, and I was saying, hey, hey, I'm not fucking doing that. And I said, for this reason. But when you got a male friend to say, hey, somewhere down the line you missed this. Somewhere down the line you missed this your situation. Somewhere down the line, I'm not gonna call you a punk ass whatever, but I'm gonna just point it out in a friendly way, in a way that you can understand. I have a pastor friend that we met on the USS Tenosa, and I know his story. I could go and tell him anything. Where do you know that you could? He runs a church and he's the pastor of a church in Florida. I could tell him anything, and I do tell him anything, even the stuff that he really ain't supposed to be telling a pastor. And he can break it down to a godly understanding, not non-judgmental, but let you know in a Christian manner that God loves you. And look, let's figure this out. Iron sharpens iron. I remember I wouldn't be married right now because I'm just that freaking stupid because of my situation and all the stuff that I got into. I have what I call it. I call it Tourette syndrome because you're not gonna talk to me any old daggone way. But I learned from my friend. I would say, well, I'm gonna say, and he go, oh, hey, hey, oh, no, 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 don't do that, don't do that. It ain't gonna work. Iron sharpens iron. The wife last night was getting mad. This is funny. She was getting mad because we were talking about my boy. I was his best man. He just got married April last year, and he's going through something. And you know, I said in I know my empathic tendencies have taken over, and I noticed something. A lot of Christians get uber religious, like women, especially women, get uber religious when they're in a bad situation, and they overcompensate, and they everything is Jesus this and God that, not realizing, and I'm not making excuses, but the reason why Yahshua, Jesus came down, and that's the main teachings of the Bible is to atone for our sins. We got so many uber Christians trying to be so perfect. You're never going to be perfect. You're freaking human. You're never going to be perfect. Not drinking and not doing this and not. Okay, tell me when the Bible says that you ain't supposed to. You can't drink. Tell me where that says it. Show me where it says in the Bible you can't drink. Do you guys know a lot of times because the water was so bad that they drank stuff that was alcoholic because it was much better because the water was so bad and make you sick. Most of the time, the water from the wells was muddy looking, I think there's a verse I think that I think Paul says it that have not have a whole bunch of drink, but have some to drink to ease your stomach. Do you see what I'm saying? The only thing that the Bible says Don't drink so much that it leads to debauchery. But back to my story. His wife had been in the first marriage, and from what he tells me, I gathered it wasn't that great. There was some cheating and all that, and see, and I said, okay. When I spotted that, and he told me that, and he's been married. I wasn't the know-it-all that I act like I do when I'm on these lives. I didn't come in acting like the know-it-all. I left him alone. And the reason why I left him alone, and I told him that, I spoke to him a few days ago. I said I left you alone for a specific reason. Some of this stuff you needed to pick up on your own. But he said he was saying that they're going through a little bit without saying it. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. Let me cut you off. Let me figure out. I bet you I know what's going on. I said, I bet you I know what's going on. And he was very quiet, and I could hear him listening. I said, your wife, because she's on a second marriage, has masculine tendencies because she's been running stuff for so long. She doesn't want to relinquish that authority because she has 3 kids, but her kids are grown. I said, oh, you're running into that problem. You want more attention, but she wants to keep giving it to her kids. Two of those kids, are grown and are in the military. You need to let them go. They'll come home when they need mama. And then the other one, does this or whatever. And I said, okay. And I said, bro, don't give up. Don't walk away from this. And I said, you need to show more love that you've ever showed before. That I know you. You get frustrated and you like, oh, I'm done. Don't give up. You get frustrated, give me a call. I'll be the sounding board. But don't give up. You can come and defeat this through love. You can come and defeat this through understanding. You can come defeat this through little changes. Little changes. And you could start as a mason, start chipping away at that brick wall that she has built up against the world. You know that one we are. I'm always talking about, I don't need a man. Yeah, you do. He said you will slowly remove one brick at a time and just keep removing them. It's not all about submission. Everybody with this, they see that word submission. But guess what? You have to submit to her too. The Bible says you shall cleave unto his one. You're one mind, one body, one soul. Now, you're an intertwined soul. You will bow down to her just as much as she bows down to you. What am I saying? I run my house. Yeah. Stop lying. Stop lying. Because you know if it's going to upset your wife, you think twice about it. You know if it's going to cause division in the household, you think twice about it. You know if it's going to cause problems, you think twice about it. And you talk to that wife to say, okay, we need to figure this out. But I thought you running stuff. I thought you running stuff. See, this is why I say I be hearing these like, I'm running it. Yeah, you ain't running crap. You peacocking, you spreading your wings, but I bet you if your wife was sitting there and gave you that side eye on camera, I bet you would shut up real quick. I learned this, iron sharpens iron, from one of my three friends I just talked to y'all about. I learned. I learned. It's so funny. We we say the magic thing. Hey, men, men, we want this peace. I'd rather have peace over love. No, I'd rather have both. I'd rather you love me so I can find that peace that I've always looked for. I'd rather you love me and respect me, because as soon as I see that you respected me, I'm gonna go, wait a minute, man. And it's so funny. I said it to my wife. I said, babe, you're the smartest person I know, but sometimes you can be so ditzy. So if I'm saying you are the smartest person I know, that you're smarter, that you're the other half that is joined with me, who do you think I'm going to ask the opinion to? Who do you think that is going to be a part of this decision? Who do you think I'm coming to? I'm not coming to one of my boys. I'm asking you, because I respect your opinion. See, here's the funny thing about being with an overthinker. I don't have to figure nothing out. I just ask my wife, and I tell her the problem. She done checked every every aspect, every angle, every position, at least 50 times a piece, because I know that overthinker in her will just come, it comes out. I have to rein her in. So I know, oh, okay, well, what do you think? I think we should do this. And I'm like, well, okay, then I think, I said, wait a minute. She done, she done, she done multiplied and divided and checked every aspect. And I'll say, babe, what you think about this? You know, and she, well, I think we should do this. You know what? I already said you the smartest person. Hey, we need to do that. You see what I'm saying? Iron sharpens iron. I don't sit here and listen to these ignorant fools that say, I'm running things. I'm the man. I pay all the bills. In this day and age, stop lying. You ain't the one that pay all the bills. Y'all got to be the brokest broke one. Hey, come on, Urban. Y'all got to be the brokest whatever if one person's in that family paying all them bills. I tell you about how many screwed up, and because I lost my house and my first house and all that crap that I did, buying a brand new truck, a motorcycle, and then buying this and buying that, and I lost every penny. I still have that fear, babe. Hey, you feel like handling the bills? I just give you the money to give you my part of it, and then if I got some spare money, I'll take this and I'll do this. It's like we just got a roof, and she was putting it on our main bill cycle. I said, no, I said, don't worry, I'll take it. Put it on my account, and I'm gonna move some stuff around just for that. Do you see what I'm saying? I'll take it. I said, you do so much, and you do this, and you do that. And see, this is what I'm saying. Well, the wife got mad. She think because she was defending. Well, maybe she doing that. I said, baby, stop. I said, baby, stop. I said, you didn't hear me say that this man was complaining about his wife. He didn't even tell me. He didn't even tell me what's going on. And for y'all that just came in, go back. You go back and say he didn't tell me. But I said, but I knew what he's going through. See, when y'all start throwing out that man, I need the. I'll give him the respect when it's earned. How about giving them respect? If you love them, respect them, and see how that situation transpires. See where that gets you. See where that understanding will come out. And see, a lot of times y'all hear that, you're like, you choose the wrong person. The reason why I say you choose the wrong person, because I admit in uncold, uncountless times that I kept on choosing the wrong women. I kept on choosing the wrong women. So if I'm going to admit it, at least I'm being transparent. And I tell you that I was afraid. I was afraid to give this woman that I'm married to my heart because my heart had been stomped on so many times. I was afraid to wrap my soul around this person. So I'm transparent. You need to accept and be transparent yourself. Hello, somebody. You need to be accepting and say, "Hey, I made these mistakes. How can I not make them?" And some will say, "Well, you know what? I ain't looking for nobody no more. I done made so many mistakes. Forget it. I'm done." And there's nothing wrong with that too. Forget it. I'm done. I'm not looking for nobody no more. You know, yes, and you're right. Our choices, but a real a real friend. 9 times out of 10, a real friend ain't gonna say nothing. A real friend would just listen, because a lot of times it's all we're looking for is someone to listen. Someone to listen while we figure it out. There's been many times we truck drivers here. Many times I call Charles. I'm mouthing up. That's all I hear. But I know he heard me. I called my friend Vincent. I know he heard me. I called my pastor, my buddy, like Kevin Waters, Gospel Express Ministry. He hear me. Iron sharpens iron. We don't have those type of people coming up in this day and age anymore. You know what we have? We have selfish people. We have ignorant people. We have people, and see, there's a lot of times when you're married, we go to friends that can't keep a man, can't keep a woman, slinging dick and open legs to everybody, can't keep nobody, but they gonna give us relationship advice, and we're stupid enough to listen to them. You're not sharpening nothing. You're dulling your blade. You're dulling your sword. You're making yourself weak by associating yourself when you all ask for advice, when you ask for understanding to someone that don't know what they talking about. Prime example. I've only been driving a truck for what did you say? Oh. Driving a truck. I've been driving a truck for 11 years. Driving 18 or 11 years. But the person I get advice from has been driving the truck for dang near 30 years. Who you think I'm gonna listen to? I Let me tell you how strong this respect is. I stopped talking to my mother and my father because them ninjas was gonna play me. over a $6 sticker. See, when you drive an 18 wheeler, see, guys, ladies and gentlemen, if you got a diesel vehicle like a diesel pickup truck, don't go to a truck stop and get your diesel. You're paying an extra 50, 40, 60 cents because you're paying IFTA tax. And Charles, we sat there one day and he explained that to me. And I was like, yeah, each 18 wheeler drives on the highway has to pay it. It's called an IFTA tax. Good morning. I seen Urban Tamika Wellness. Good morning, Wellness. He had to pay it. It's called an IFTA tax. It's a tax for the 18 wheelers to drive on the interstate. You have to get what I have to get. I have to get my diesel from truck stops. I can't go nowhere else. I can't go to a gas station unless they have the IFTA sign. It's against the law. I can't have that. Oh, in the country they got that off-road diesel. It's got a dye. It's a red dye. I can't do that. And he explained that to me. You pay IFTA, and you have to have that sticker on your vehicles. I was gonna go. I came off the road. I was working for another company, and I came off the road. My father asked me. He's got an F-350. He had an F-350 King Ranch, and then he bought a trailer. I was going to go into business with him. Supposedly half, you know, would go half and half, half and half. And I was going to do hot shot loads. But he took it upon himself to register the vehicle. He registered it wrong, even though I did my homework. Even though the trailer could only do the trailer that he got, the max weight was like 13,000 pounds. But he registered in Georgia for, I think it's like over 26,000 pounds. Don't quote me on the numbers, but he registered in Georgia more than 50, over like 26,000 pounds. And don't quote me on the numbers, but in on with your CDL. See, I have a CDL, and that's very important to me. That's another part of it. I have a CDL, and because of that, he registered his truck wrong and registered the trailer wrong. So to fix that, he would need to get an IFTA sticker because he was over the weight that you needed an IFTA sticker that you had to get. It was only $6. And I'm telling him, Daddy, you need to get an IFTA sticker. No, you don't. Daddy, you need to get the IFTA. No, you don't. Daddy, you need to get an IFTA sticker. No, you don't, son. Yes. Hold on. Daddy, you need to get an IFTA sticker. You registered the vehicle wrong. I told you to wait for me, and we could have did it together. Well, nobody's gonna tell me how to run my business. I thought I was coming in the half and half that we were gonna work together. Your business is wrong. You would get pulled into the scale house so many times, and you will lose your authority. We won't be able to run. And I told Charles what was going on. And he said, Darren, I'm not going to tell you what to do. But this is a bad situation. You can lose you're probably going you can lose your license. You start rolling like this. And I said, for real? He said, yep. Iron sharpens iron. I didn't do it. I stopped talking to him. And my father thought he was doing me a favor, and he went out, traded in his paid off F-350 King Ranch and bought a brand new one. And I told him, no, I'm done. And here's the funny part, the crazy part of that. I went and yeah, I've tell that story a million times. I'm not going to tell it right now, but I went to work at this company, and I've been there. I've been here ever since. So when you have friends that got your back and say, "Look, bro, I'm not telling you what to do, but if you do this, you're going to lose whatever you got." And see, here's the thing: I'm too old to be trying to do something else, but I'm going to try later on. Y'all laughing, you know. Lawn care, LOL. But I would have lost everything following in his foot, following following what when you don't know about the DOT and you know everybody, my father was the alpha male in the big group of ninjas that he dealt with. Nobody said nothing to him. Nobody corrected him. And I remember the day he passed away, and we were all sitting in front of my parents' house having beers, and I just went off on the two truck drivers that were his good friends, and I said, "You two mother effers knew what he was doing was wrong, and you didn't stand up to him and say something." The only reason I spoke up is because I'm my father's son, and I'm not a damn idiot. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm my father's son, and I'm not an idiot. All of that, I would not have my license if it wasn't for iron sharpening iron. Having a friend that had your back, that didn't say, "Hey, don't do that. Don't be an idiot. Don't say that. Don't blah blah blah." That. You know how we do. You know how we do. But it said it in a way that I would accept it and make that decision for my own. Hey, my brother. If I was you, I wouldn't do this, because this is what's going to happen to you. And I looked at the fact that that man was driving for 30 years, and I know he got my back. That's why look, I'd sell all my lawnmower stuff if he needed anything. He's like, "Well, sell it now so you have room." Whatever. But I mean that because that's my friend. You need, if with everybody within the sound of my voice, you need a friend that's going to say it in a way that you will understand. Not that, "Girl, I would leave his behind," and she ain't got nobody a pot to piss in. Don't listen to those people, male or female, that ain't got a pot to piss in. But listen to that grandma. Listen to that grandpa. Listen to that uncle. Listen to the ones that's got some gray, that's been on the battlefield for the Lord for a long time. Listen to the ones that got the right degree and is doing something with it and not blowing their money. Even listen to the one that ain't got a dime, but you think they ain't got a dime, but they saved all their money. They pinched their pennies. You gonna learn something. Iron sharpens iron. You gonna figure out that there's more to. "Oh, I'm not gonna date him because he makes $50,000, and you broke and living in the projects on Section 8, and you working at Wendy's, thinking you gonna get a high value man." Most of these high value men know that they high value and they stuck on themselves, and they worse than the broke ones. You idiots. But y'all look past the good man, the one that the regular Joe Schmo that's been working for the garbage company for 30 years, about to retire at an early age, and his work ethic ain't gonna let him retire. He's gonna draw that pension and go get another job. You idiot! Always worrying about the money. Well, I said, I had to settle. Yeah, you had to settle because you ain't figured it out. You got to get with someone that's gonna sharpen your iron so you can figure. They gonna point you in the right look. They be like, look, young blood, you look, young sister, young brother. I've been watching you. You always get that one. I've been watching you. Look. Let me help you out. I Long story short, I remember when I first started driving this truck. I had this one spot. I couldn't get into this spot to save my life. I even got out I'm backing into the dock. I got out the truck. I'm yelling and screaming, son of a biscuit in high what the your mama! It took me 45 minutes to back into this dock. And there was no truck around. It took me 45 minutes to get in it. I finally got in the dump, and this old brother came walking up to me, and I rolled down the window, and I'm on the brink of tears. I was so mad. And he came out. He said, "Brother, I was gonna try. I said, but I'll wait till you're done." And he walked over there and gave me step by step advice on how to back into a dock. Even walked with me in the parking lot. Until this day, that's how I back into a dock. I done got a little lazy lately. Because I'm on a dedicated route, early to bed, early to ride. I done got lazy lately. But when you have old school coming in and wanting to teach you and wanting to point you, well, I don't know. I said you got. I can't learn nobody. But sometimes the Bible will give you some good advice. You need someone iron to sharpen your iron. You need a good friend. You need a good confidant. You need a good person that knows you, that knows how to get through that thick skull of yours to give you the advice or give you or point you or be a good listener so you can come up with the right decision in your life and right decision in your experiences, the right decision in your relationships. Sometimes you just need someone to listen so you can come up with it. I learned, look, sometimes I learn it because a lot of times my wife has got to tell me everything about work. Half the time I don't want to hear it, but I love her. And so and a lot of times I understood she just wants me to listen. So she'll come up with the right advice, the right suggestion, the right whatever. She just wants me to listen. It took me years to figure that one out. And a lot of times we guys, you got Miss T with the T coming up, trying to help new people. Y'all go over there and give some advice that you learn about YouTube. Point somebody in the right direction. Cause this mess, I'm still going through the great deletion. I done lost about 50 hours. Anybody new would have been like, screw YouTube, I ain't doing this no more. I lost about 50 hours. And it's gonna keep going for a minute because I went through this last year. Don't give up. Just not on YouTube. Don't give up in life. Don't give up in your finances. Don't give up in your relationships. Don't give up in your situations. Start getting out the steel. What's a steel? A steel is what is used on a knife to fix your blade, fix the edge of your blade. It doesn't sharpen; it fixes the edge. Then go get you something to sharpen your blade. Sharpen your experiences, sharpen your life, so that you can get out here and and excel. And like the military, be that all that you can be. Each and every one of us has something to learn from somebody. It's so funny. I did the I did I did a video that showed it yesterday, my premiere. And I'm like, oh, well, I mean, I'm gonna do a premiere. I'm gonna make me, compost bin. But the sun went down, and I was gonna have to get on the road the next morning. So no, I'm about to spotlight out. I'm gonna make this video. And then I was like, I got no green stuff to put in here. I put the green pellets and add water, the cardboard, but it was the basics. To I'm gonna keep trying because I'm gonna learn, and if I learn how to do it, I'm gonna point someone else in the right direction. Because I watched you guys do it. I watched your videos. I'm learning stuff. I'm picking up stuff. And I've got so many leaves every year, and I'm tired of burning and tired of throwing them out. I want to use them so I can build up my soil. But I wouldn't have came to that if it wasn't for my iron being sharpened by watching you guys' videos. Hello. I wouldn't have figured that out. I wouldn't even have thought about it. Do you see what I'm saying? But shoot. I got a whole area that I'm gonna start doing. I even got the pitchfork to turn the stuff. Every time I come home, I'm gonna turn it. Do you see what I mean? You can if I said anything today, I'm gonna say this. Everything is possible for anybody within my listening voice. Anything is possible. You just gotta want it. You have a cheerleader at this channel, and always know, guys. If you don't think nobody gives a flip, I love you, and God loves you too. You guys have a blessed day. Figure it out like I'm doing. Stay in the lane. Stay in the lane and enjoy the sun. Take enjoy the sun today. Take in a breath and enjoy life because life's too short to be tripping. God bless you. Thanks for coming in. Y'all have a blessed day. See you tomorrow. Deuces.